about, baby? It's the whacked out news. People breaking the law. Ha ha, fighting in the nude. Ha, drunk people pooping in the street. Ha ha, it's the whacked out news. Huh, so many people on meth. Ow!
Well, I thought this was rather interesting as we're hoping for some truth when it comes to the whole mystery of Jeffrey Epstein, who had his place on Palm Beach and was victimizing a lot of high school girls here. We're still waiting for the names of all the people who are partaking in the girls that Epstein was trafficking.
Right. We know the names of the victims, but we don't know the clients that paid money to see those girls and be with those girls.
And we also don't know that we believe that Epstein hung himself in that New York City jail cell.
Oh, we definitely don't believe that, Kevin.
Well, they talked to the FBI director, Kash Patel, and Dan Bongino, who is a Treasure Coast guy who is now working with the Secret Service. And they were grilling them on Fox News saying, okay, well, what do you guys think? Did Epstein really kill himself or not?
You said Jeffrey Epstein committed suicide. People don't believe it.
Well, I mean, listen, they have a right to their opinion, but as someone who has worked as a public defender, as a prosecutor, who's been in that prison system, who's been in the Metropolitan Detention Center, who's been in segregated housing.
I believe he's lying. And if he can believe what he wants, I can believe what I want.
Well, what I do find a little odd about this is a lot of people thought that with the change in the administration and so many jobs turning over that they were going to just, fling open the gates and let us come on in and see what was going on. But that wasn't the case.
So they're still protecting people that are still in power, in government, judges, legal people. That's all that's going on here.
Now, Pam Bondi has recently spoken and said that the names will come out. They're just trying to get all their ducks in a row, I guess, dotting all the proverbial I's and crossing the T's and all that kind of good stuff. And they don't want to get ahead of themselves, but they say they will be releasing it. But yeah, Kash Patel does believe that he did actually commit suicide.
The lizard people are never going to allow that list to come out. Some people believe that some politicians are lizard people.
I don't know what you're talking about for the lizard people, but
okay, all right.
I mean, I know they're pedophiles. Some of them are being protected right now. Pedophiles are being protected by the names not coming out. They might also be lizards and pedophiles.
Mm-hmm. I mean, of course, my lizard thing's a conspiracy. I get that on the record.
Look, nothing would surprise me anymore.
Mm-hmm. Well, we'll see what happens. So there you go. So the official word is that it was a suicide for Jeffrey Epstein.
Sure.
Well, this is, in a way, a happy accident with a good story. Rip currents are so deadly and nasty off of our Florida beaches. And there was a girl that was caught up in a rip current about 100 yards offshore at Pensacola Beach. And somebody got this guy who was flying a drone. They said, hey, can you swim? He's like, I don't swim. He's like, but I got a drone. Somebody's like, well, we got a life preserver here. So he took his drone and he hooked the life preserver to it and flew it out over the girl and missed horribly. And she couldn't get to the life preserver. Somebody's like, you big dummy. And so somebody found another life preserver and they hooked that to the drone. He flew it back out there again, lowered it exactly to the girl. She grabbed onto the life preserver and was able to stay afloat until first responders could get out there and save her. And now they're saying, you know what, that may not be a bad idea. So when we see people out there, instead of having somebody try to swim and then they're in the rip current, it might be a good idea to drone out a life preserver or some kind of flotation device that they can use until we can safely go out and get them.
Oh, I love that.
So does every lifeguard station now have to have a drone?
Well, this just happened, so they're just talking about this may be an idea, so they're not that quick.
It sounds expensive, but it is doable.
I don't think they're going to get the drones today.
Mm-hmm.
Can we get them by the weekend? We do have a holiday weekend coming up.
Good point. You're right. Yeah. ASAP, you would think, but doesn't seem like a bad idea to do that. The girl's father is called the drone operator her guardian angel.
Wow.
I mean, think about it. That's a great idea. And they could, especially if you tailor certain type of things, those type of drones to help people out lost at sea, that'd be amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. So tell me what you do. You're paddleboarding here in Florida and you notice a shark. You're like, whoa, hey, that's a shark that is swimming right by my paddleboard. And then you take a closer look and you realize that the shark is tangled up in a bunch of rope and is struggling to swim.
Like fishing rope and stuff.
Yeah, just whatever might get in the ocean.
Dang.
So what you do, you send a drone out there to the shark and drop a knife so he can get himself out of there.
Can cut himself out of it.
That's ridiculous. Sharks don't have hands.
They've got the video of this paddleboarder, and she did everything she could to get this rope off the shark. In fact, at one point, the shark kind of comes out because the shark didn't know what's going on.
Yeah.
It's just biting because it's nervous, and it came close to snagging her hand.
Damn, how rude. She's trying to help you, dude.
And she stayed with it and got that rope off that shark. And then the end of the video shows the shark just happily swimming away.
But not before he ate her.
Yes, she would have. Yeah, she would have waved back, but she only has a stub now.
Fully swimming away with her arm.
Yeah. So I was like, wow, I don't know how I would have responded to that. God bless her.
I can tell you 100% I would not have been helping that shark.
That shark is lucky he ran into the paddleboarder he did. 'Cause
Yes,
this
he
paddleboarder,
is.
I'm just happy to stay on. I'd be like going, don't fall in, don't fall in.
Kevin's going to cry and paddle back to the shore so quick.
Yeah. So I don't know if I'm helping the shark, but it was a nice story. Somebody in a control tower at O'Hare International Airport spotted a strange object in a danger zone. When they looked more closely, they realized it was a DoorDash driver.
What?
The delivery gig worker reportedly accidentally drove into an unauthorized secured area and then went for miles in restricted spaces. They even think that maybe the DoorDash driver was crossing runways.
How did this happen?
They're trying to figure out exactly how the driver was able to get to where they got to. Apparently, they were just trying to get the food to the right place.
Did air traffic control order it?
It's a great question. It's unclear if the meal eventually made it to its intended final destination.
The fries were so cold.
Yeah, but here they are reacting to this story.
But now imagine if this had been at night in the darkness. I mean, where no one noticed this person. Headlights all look the same pretty much in the dark. This could have been really, really bad.
Yeah.
It just proves people will do some really stupid, dangerous stuff for food.
You're right.
Mm-hmm. Well, officials in Costa Rica caught a cat trying to smuggle drugs into a prison last week.
Naughty cat.
The cat was strapped with 236 grams of marijuana and 68 grams of heroin.
And I'm sure it was his idea.
Of course, yes. It was able to strap itself up like that.
Book him.
Yeah, they're trying to figure out who the cat accomplice is now.
It was snorting.
The cat daddy?
I don't know. It's a good question.
Somebody strapped that cat up.
Mm-hmm. Well, here's a new prank that teenagers are doing. They're pretending to steal money from unsuspecting strangers using fake Apple Pay transactions. One of the viral videos shows a teen approaching a man asking for the time, then pretends to tap his phone while playing the Apple Pay sound effect. The man then becomes visibly upset, demanding the teen's phone and confronting him about it, but then the teen takes off running, and then the video cuts.
I would fall for this too, old man. Don't feel bad.
They say in another clip, the same prankster tells a shopper that he just took $20 from him, leading to a heated chase through the aisles of the store. The videos are doing well, as you might imagine, with over 900,000 views each.
So are they just pranks or are they really taking the money?
They're pranks.
Yeah, this is stupid.
They're not really taking the money, but they are
Upsetting
getting people all pissed
Mm-hmm.
off. Because when you hear that sound, you think that it was a transaction going through.
Yeah.
And it's really just them playing the audio of that sound.
And some of them might not be real. Some of them might be set up. Mm-hmm. You can't, I mean, a lot of these
Where
stunts.
the victim is in on it, but they
Yeah.
act mad.
Exactly.
Yep.
This is how we do. It's the KBJ Show.